Alright, it's saying we're live this time. Are we live? I hope we're live. Wow. Yeah, I saw somebody say in the comments that's why I'm the coder and not the streamer. YouTube had me confused because when you schedule a stream, I guess you gotta click go live, and then when you just do an impromptu stream, as soon as you connect OBS and click start streaming, it's automatically running. So there lies the confusion. But now I know. Anyway, I have to go ahead and say all that stuff again because none of you heard it, but Parrot heard it. So, but happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was lovely. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is our and this is deja vu because I just said all this, but this is our Thanksgiving developer Q&A, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our North American people that celebrate. And I know people on the other side of the earth don't celebrate it, but we love Thanksgiving in North America, and it's a time of giving thanks. And this Thanksgiving, we are thankful for you, our supporters and our fans, who believed in us, who supported us, and who have been waiting for the 1.0 release of Day of Dragons, which is coming next year. And we're coming out of early access, and we're releasing the game version 1.0 in 2023. The exact date is to be announced, but we're excited about it, and it is going to be awesome. And we're going to be taking questions from you guys, talking a little bit. This is going to be a laid-back live stream where I'm not in the test server. I'm not playing any games. I have one of my monitor screens. You see the Happy Thanksgiving there. It's because I'm going to be showing you stuff on that screen that we've been working on. And Bad Parrot is here, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Bad Parrot.
Well, you too. Hello, everybody.
And if you didn't get the memo, we are going to be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and of course Saturday, Sunday, because we got family stuff going on with Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving's always been a time of family get-togethers and feasting on turkey and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce and stuffing and all that good stuff, apple pies and pumpkin pies, and it's going to be a great time. Let's see if we can fix Bad Parrot's audio a little bit. Oh, Midnight's here.
Hello.
Hello, Midnight, and happy Thanksgiving to you too.
We don't celebrate it in Canada right now, but...
Well, is it like October?
Yeah, beginning middle October.
Well, happy belated Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
I got my Day of Dragons music in the background. Let me turn that down a little bit here. Alright. So, I just thought of something, Midnight. So, like, I could come to Canada in October, and then we could have Thanksgiving, and then you could come to the US in November, and then you could have another. So we could have like 2 Thanksgivings a year.
I love Thanksgiving, so that sounds great.
Me too. And am I allowed to like go rant about a pet peeve of mine? Thanksgiving is like the November holiday, and like before we even get to Thanksgiving, everybody's got all their Christmas decorations up, their lights are up, you know, and it's like, wait, Christmas is in December, Thanksgiving's in November. You know, it's like, can we just like focus on Thanksgiving? It's like Thanksgiving gets, you know, they get the short end of the stick every year because people are just waiting for Christmas, and it's like, let's, you know, celebrate Thanksgiving first and then Christmas in December.
When I worked at a retail shop, we had to put up the Christmas decorations on Halloween. It was great.
Yeah, I think stores do that because they want people to get into the buying spirit, not the Christmas spirit. But I love Thanksgiving, and I wish it got a little more focus than, you know, it's always in Christmas's shadow, but I love Thanksgiving. Some very, very fond memories with Thanksgiving. But we got some cool stuff we're going to show all of you, and I know that you all have been waiting to see some of the 1.0 content. I'm not going to show everything. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. And we're also going to take some questions. So if you have a question, at Bioluminescent Games in the YouTube chat, and Bad Parrot or Midnight, they'll catch the comment and they'll be able to tell me what the question was, because I'm going to have like all these different screens going on, so I'm not always like reading the comments. But if you have a question, you can ask it. Just type in at Bioluminescent Games and then ask your question. It's good to see some of our mods in the chat, and Anthomnia is there. Hello, Anthomnia. I see you. Do we have any other YouTubers in the stream? I'm looking. I don't see any.
I see Loose Swing.
Oh, Loose Wing. Hey, Loose Wing. I just got done watching one of your videos today, actually. Loose Wing asks, can we see the Bio Glow skins, please? They're so nice, and I can't wait for people to see them. Let's see, Bio Glow skins. Do you mean the skins just for the bio, or do you mean the ones that like light up the other dragons?
I'm pretty sure they mean the ones for the other dragons that we've been showing off to Patreons.
Oh, those skins. Those are pretty cool. Oh, there's a lot of them. I'm looking at all the work that Flickr has been doing here. That one's pretty cool. And that one. Let's see what else we got. I don't know if that was. I think that's the bio. That's a bio skin there.
That's the work IP. There you go.
Like the Bio Glow. Yeah, there's a lot of them in here. Let's see. Been doing like some of these are probably whips. Parrot has been working with Flickr on this stuff. I'm just the guy that gets to like show it off.
Show them the Flame Stalker, that's my favorite so far.
Let's see. Is it this one that has the fire flames on it?
Yeah, it's the underbelly. There's other views.
Is that the underbelly?
Yeah.
I think that's like a three-way or something. So basically, if you've seen the Hidden World, you know how like the dragons, when they go in the Hidden World, they start glowing, and that's kind of what we're wanting to do with our dragons, but it's an effect from the bio dragons. So when the bio uses their element, which doesn't do any damage, it makes another dragon have this bioluminescent glow that is unique to that dragon. So the bio dragon is not just a cosmetic dragon in itself, but it also applies a cosmetic to other dragons.
Are you ready for a question?
Sure.
Will the nurse dragon have some sort of ramming ability, charge ability?
It's definitely going to have a head attack. So, I mean, you'd be able to like run at somebody and do a head attack, but as far as like an auto charge, we haven't thought about that.
Will there be new skins for the 3 dragons we already have in the game?
Most definitely. The new skin tweaks that we're doing, there's going to be a lot of player customization with the skins. So you're going to be allowed to, if you're nesting, you're going to be able to influence the skins on the eggs. So, you know, you could technically make a skin that nobody else has, just based on genetics. So we're kind of changing how the skin system works. There's still going to be skins that are, they're pre-made by us, but then there's also going to be skins that you'll be able to make through the nesting system.
Will server owners be able to edit day length and night length?
No.
When will the Blitz Striker, I can't talk today, be available for purchase, the DLC, on Steam?
Will the Blitz Striker be available for purchase on Steam? Yes.
When?
Oh, when? When 1.0 comes out. Steam doesn't let us do pre-orders. Steam only lets big companies do pre-orders. So the only way you can pre-order it right now is from our website at dayofdragons.com. So you can pre-order the Blitz on our website. But there's no way to pre-order it on Steam, and we can't put it on Steam until it's actually out. So when 1.0 comes out, you'll see the new Blitz Striker DLC for sale on Steam.
Will we be adding water dragons to the game? And if so, have we started on the model yet?
Will there be water dragons? Yes. The first water dragon we're going to add is what we call a long drake, and it's basically an Eastern style serpentine dragon with 4 legs. This dragon won't be able to fly in the air without wings like you see a lot of Eastern dragons do. Like if you've seen Marvel Shang-Chi, they got that Eastern dragon at the, in that magical area that, comes out of the water and then it can fly in the air. We're not going to have wingless dragons flying in the air, so but he will be able to fly in the water.
Will there be cosmetics in game that give the appearance of armor for the dragons?
No, we're not doing clothing or armor. Dragons have armor, that's their scales. So we're not doing like medieval or any type of like armor or weapons for dragons. We're keeping it like we want it to be like have a sense of natural realism. The dragons, they do have like a language, they do have intelligence, but they don't like they don't wear clothes or capes or crowns.
Is there a plan to add more emotes for the other dragons like the Acid Spitter has?
Yes. We're actually working on those. Have we shown off the Acid Spitter's regurgitate animation?
No, we have not.
Let's see. Can you find that for me and ping me with it?
Yeah, give me just a minute.
Oh, we are working on the ice elemental right now. Let's see. Oh, that's not the ice elemental, but some of you probably already have already seen this guy. We're working on, we're still tweaking the fire drake. Working on, right now he's a little stylized. We're trying to make him more realistic looking. But he's going to be our first bipedal drake in the game. Yes, he kind of looks like a dinosaur, but you know, dinosaurs technically are dragons. You know, a lot of the, yeah, dinosaurs are dragons. They're just two-legged dragons.
As long as they breathe fire.
Well, I mean, some scientists actually believe that the T-Rex could breathe fire because of those large cavities in his skull. So you never know. Let's see here. Here's a little. This is not a final. It's not the final concept of the ice elemental, but it's one of them. It's like we're looking at different ice elemental, and that's one of the things we're looking at right there. And he's going to come in update 1.3 with the Frozen finale update. And a lot of people are looking forward to that. So here's another look at the elemental we're working on.
Speaking of behemoths, there is a question. Will there be a limit in clans of how many behemoths they have?
Will there be a limit on how many behemoths you can have in a clan?
Yes.
I never even thought of it until that question. So, if we do put a limit on it, it's whoever just asked that question's fault. So this is the animation of the acid spitter regurgitating a dragon pearl. And so when you trade dragon pearls, and they will be tradable, they're kind of, I wouldn't call them a currency, but if the game had a currency, it's dragon pearls, and they're going to be very collectible. They're going to be unique. You know, so you'll find random stats on. I'm hoping that like no two dragon pearls will be 100% identical. I mean, you'll probably find the lessers because they only have one stat, but as soon as you get into the greater pearls or the ancient pearls, where you have 2 and 3 stats on them, you know, one might have 4.3% damage boost, and another one might have 4.4%. You know, so I'm gonna have like a it's gonna have like a economy type of system. Like you'll be able to trade them to each other. Like, say this one gives like bonus, you know, acid decay or something, and you don't need it because you're a fire breather. You might want to trade it with an acid spitter who might have a pearl that gives, you know, some kind of fire buff. So when you do trade them, you know, you have to be able to get them out of your crop. So they're in your crop, so you'll be able to, you know, puke them up, and then you basically eat the pearl. So, and I'm still working on figuring out whether anybody will be able to pick that pearl up, or if like only the person you traded with will be able to, because I know that if anybody can pick it up, you're gonna have to find like a real secluded area so nobody can steal the pearl. But then at the same time, that could also be kind of part of the gameplay, so, you know, make sure you trade in a secure area.
Next question is, will the Blitz Striker have a power-up during thunderstorms?
Will the Blitz Striker have a power-up during thunderstorms?
Do you have another question while you think about that one?
Yeah, the Blitz Striker likes lightning. So I got some pretty cool things planned for the Blitz Striker with lightning. You all are gonna love the Blitz Striker. Feel free to give me some more questions.
All right. Would we be open to a war paint like cosmetic as example for, I guess, showing the difference of clans or mini games? It does happen in nature. I believe it's bearded vultures do rub red clay on themselves to make just for a cosmetic. They don't know why they do it.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that.
How many eggs will the bio dragon have in its nest?
I think the smaller dragons, I think we cap them at 5. Probably around 5. If you get too many eggs, then we have to make really big nests. So, unless it's really small eggs.
How will the new elder mushroom system work?
How will the new elder mushroom system work? It's classified.
It's classified. What will be the change in the new nesting system?
There's going to be a couple different changes. One will be the way skins come about. So you'll have like a UI that you'll be able to like select a skin color swatch from the parents. So each parent will provide color swatches that you'd be able to choose when you're making the skin for the baby. Now this is something that you have to like completely max out breeding to get. Like you won't be able to do this like if you're just nesting and all your points are in like survival or agility or mobility, movement, you won't be able to access any of this stuff. So you basically have to be a dedicated breeder in the breeding line to be able to access this higher end stuff. It's kind of like how gender selection works right now, but you'll have like some skin customization. Also the way stats work is going to be different. the game, you're not going to be able to like spawn random high stat dragons anymore. Like, I think we've already taken the A- out of the game as it is right now. I think B+ is the max you can spawn in. But it's going in 1.0, I think it's going to be probably C. So C will be like the highest stat you can spawn in the game as. And you know, the way that breeding happens, and how the different stats are, we're making some tweaks to that. We've had a year to, you know, a little over a year to see what people really like about the nesting system and what frustrates people about the nesting system. So we're going to make improvements. And the nice thing about, you know, release is, you know, everybody's going to be starting fresh. So you know, nobody's got to worry about losing their old dragons or whatever, because the release version and the beta version are completely different. And like I said before, beta is going to become legacy, and so people will be able to keep playing legacy on, we'll have 1 or 2 legacy servers, probably 1 PvE, 1 PvP in the US, maybe 1 in PvP, PvE in Europe, for legacy, but then everything else is going to be release, and then we'll bring over dragons from those official servers, and then, you know, private servers will be able to host legacy servers, or keep their legacy servers if they want them. And Unreal 5 it's a lot harder on your PC than Unreal 4 because of all the new next gen tech that's in it. And so people with older computers are going to really struggle playing Day of Dragons in Unreal 5 on release. That's why we want to make sure that they still have a version they can play with Legacy. But the good thing about computers is that, you know, every year they get better and better and better, and so, and the upgrades get cheaper and cheaper, especially now that crypto's kind of crashed, and, you know, you can actually buy a graphics card now, and prices on those went down a little bit. But, you know, people will be able to catch up, you know, because the NVIDIA 4000 series are coming out this year, and so next year the 3000 series will be even cheaper, and the 2000 series will be even cheaper. And it kind of, I think we're the very minimum card you'll need to run Day of Dragons in release is like a 680, like a GTX 680. And I'm not 100% sure that the 680, it's just that the 680 supports DirectX 12, and you have to have a DirectX 12 video card. And we're dropping support for Windows 7 in release version, and Legacy supports Windows 7, DirectX 11. Release will not support Windows 7 or DirectX 11 because it can't. Is, you know, Lumen and all the new next-gen features in Unreal 5, they require DirectX 12. So, and I love Windows 7. I still have Windows. I dual boot Windows 7 and Windows 10 on my work PC, and you know, I spend most of my time in Windows 7. But I've been spending a lot more time in Windows 10 now because Unreal 5 doesn't really like Windows 7. I've found a way to make it work. It does work in Windows 7, but I just have to bite the bullet and switch over to 100% over to Windows 10. But I love Windows 7. What can I say? Hope that answered your question. That was kind of a long answer.
You should show some of the new animations while I grab some more questions.
Okay. Yeah, when I'm talking, it's like I've completely... I'm in Windows 7 right now, by the way.
And your next question is, will there be a behemoth for every element?
Probably not. Right now there's 3... Oh wait, did you say behemoth? I was thinking elemental. Will there be a behemoth for every element? Maybe. Is probably not with elementals, but maybe with behemoths. And I think all behemoths are going to be drakes, or long drakes. There is going to be a water behemoth as well, so, and he'll be a long drake.
Will biodragons be able to carry flowers to their babies?
Me and Parrot have not actually talked about that.
So maybe, maybe not. We still have to decide.
Yep.
Do we plan on having some kind of event while people wait for the big update, or release it in smaller updates so people have some new stuff to do?
The plan is that we're going to be releasing the updates on the test server, and as we get to like a stable test version, we're probably going to push that to like a open test to where people can download it and host it on their own servers. But the content that's coming in for release, it's not all compatible with the beta, so for me to like pick and choose certain parts to put in beta, it's a lot of extra work and a lot of extra time. So the quickest way for us to get release out is for us just to focus on release and not updating the beta. And we really want to get the release out. But you tell us what you would rather have. Us focus all our time on release so the release comes quicker, or put out incremental updates in the beta still, and make release take longer.
Speaking of the update, next question is, when do we think it will come?
2023. There are 3 things that have to happen for release. The first thing is that all the content that is coming, the Inferno, the Blitz, the Bio, the Sand Slayer Worm, all of that has to have all the animations finished. And I think like we finished all. Did we just finish all the Blitz Striker adult animations?
I believe he has 3 more left.
Okay, so we're almost done with all the Blitz Striker adult animations. The Bio is very close to being done with all the Bio adult animations. And where are we at on the Ravager?
Probably about halfway with the Inferno.
Okay. And we have 5 animators right now. We have one animator who's working on the Sandslayer worm. We have one animator working on the Inferno Ravager. We have one animator working on the Bio Dragon. And one animator working on the Blitz, and then we have another animator that's floating and working on multiple different things. And speaking of animator, y'all don't know this, but Carly, who y'all love and who we love very much, has been working, she's been working for us part-time for, 2 years? And she has decided that she's going to work for Bioluminescent Games full-time, starting in January. So we're really excited about that. She will be our only full-time animator. All 5 of our animators right now are all part-time. But Carly's going to work for us, and she's our rigger, and she's an amazing animator, and she's decided that she's going to work for us full-time starting in January, which means that update 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. Those updates will go a lot quicker because we have a dedicated animator. So we are really excited about that.
Next question is, do we have any plans beyond the roadmap for Day of Dragons?
The Trello roadmap?
Yeah.
Plans on paper, yes, but that what's on the roadmap right now is a lot of work and a couple years worth of work. So right now we are just focused on the release, and then we're and just about everybody is like working on release except for our modelers. Our modelers are way ahead of everybody else, so they're working. They're doing some release stuff, but they're working on content that's like for 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So we always like to have all the models done before the animators, so that our animators are like never sitting around waiting for something to do, because we always have models that need animated.
Next question is, will the Blitz Striker be a glass cannon, or will it be a dealer of death?
The Blitz Striker is definitely a glass cannon. Low defense. Would probably die in a straight on one versus one. But what we're doing with the Blitz is introducing something new to the game, which is crowd control. So the Blitz will be able to stun, and that's how the Blitz preys on other dragons. The Blitz stuns and then eats its prey alive. So, and as a defense mechanism, or as a group, support mechanism, the Blitz can do a EMP area of effect stun, and stun everything that's around it. And after stunning, it can then fly away, or its friends can kill whatever. But the Blitz likes to ambush its prey, like stun it and then eat it, and it doesn't like want to get in a 1v1 with anybody. If it gets in a 1v1, it's going to stun, and if it's too big to eat, it's going to fly away. So as far as like combat, that's its play style. It's more like a rogue, crowd control rogue type player. You sneak, you stun, you eat, and then you get out of there. And the Blitz is pretty fast in the air, so that's flying is a good way for it to escape.
With so many dragons coming up, the role of the elementals are kind of missing the point. How do we plan on making them more unique and fun to play?
The elementals have their own gameplay loop, and I think Patrons already know about this. It's kind of old news at this point, but the three elementals, there's the largest playable creature in the game is our Leviathan class 9 creature, and it's a hydra, and the hydra has 3 heads, and the elementals will be able to they pursue like their in-game content where they're like feasting on dragons and stuff like that, and then they'll be able to combine and become the hydra. And the hydra, each head of the hydra will be controlled by a different player. So like the center head will control the main dragon body, and then you got the left head and the right head, and they each have their own element. So that's going to be their in-game loop, is becoming a hydra. And the hydra is not a natural dragon, it's an elemental dragon, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
Next question is, how do we feel about mod support?
The way I feel about mod support is it's like something on the bottom of my to-do list that I have a lot of other important stuff I gotta get done before I worry about mod support. But after I if I ever have time, to do it, I'm not opposed to doing it. It's just I have so much other stuff that I have to do.
Are there any updates on the hybrid we can share, like how its stats work, or if it will have a 5 call?
Let's see. 5 call. We talked about this, and I think the 5 it has some type of call that kind of replaces the 5 call. It will have a 5 emote, but it's not for like nesting.
And the second part of that question was, what about how its stats will work since they can't breed up?
How will its stats work? The stats are mainly influenced, you find the hybrid egg, and then you take it to a nurse dragon, which is the only way you'll be able to incubate the egg, and the nurse dragon is able to influence the stats a little bit.
And The bio will not be able to attack players, but will it be able to attack AI?
No. The bio has no attacks whatsoever. It is a defenseless creature, and any cosmetic dragon will always be like that if we ever have another cosmetic dragon.
And the next question I can answer, it's how will the bio and the Blitz's nests look? We're still working on those concepts. We're playing around with a couple different ideas, but we'll have them out before the dragons are. Will the fire behemoth be able to have any mechanics that allow it to climb with its claws, or any other special mechanics with those big claws it has?
We haven't. Climbing is something we're going to put in the game later, after 1.0. But for now, it's not something we're ready to talk about.
Will female dragons still have to sit on their nests?
With the new nesting, we're going to have like actual incubation. So like, depending on the type of dragon egg, like fire eggs and ice eggs will have to be properly incubated using element and temperature. Like if you're in a really hot area, like if you're a fire dragon, fire drake, fire whatever, you'll want to go ahead and find a hot area to nest in. If you are in a hot enough area, the egg should be able to incubate itself. But if you're in a not so hot area, you're going to have to provide the heat to properly incubate the egg. The same works if you're ice, you're an ice element and you're not in a cold area. If you're in a really cold area, the egg will probably incubate itself. But if you're not in a real cold area, you're going to have to keep the egg cold so it properly incubates. Other types, they'll be affected by temperature as well, but like if you're a shadow scale, you'll want to be in like a temperate area, not too hot, not too cold, for your egg to properly incubate. You won't have to like spit plasma on your egg. You'll just want to try to keep the temperature right. So nest in a temperature friendly area.
Will there be Steam achievements?
It's not really something I've looked into. I know some people are really into those, but it just adds more work for me. And I got enough work to do already, so. Not saying we won't ever have them, but it's not a priority right now.
Next question is, will we add flight maneuvers like rolls, tight turns, stuff like that?
Possibly.
Will there be secondary animations such as scratching or injury animations? I think we actually have an acid spitter secondary animation. There he is.
Oh, so I already answered the question. Yeah.
So we do have the secondary acid spitter animation. He's gonna do a nice little yawn. If he stands around too much, he's gonna get bored. Will dragons be able to have hybridized babies?
Maybe way down the road we'll introduce our own like hybridization system. But right now the only hybrid is going to be like the hybrid.
Will there be any form of in-air grapple combat, like where two dragons can grab each other in the air?
Maybe.
How will we prevent the abuse of the Blitz Strikers crowd control, where people just don't let people move because they keep stunning them?
They won't be able to continuously stun. Their EMP basically uses all of their bile, and then so they have bile exhaustion, and so it takes like 30 seconds for their bile to recharge. So use it. You know, you got to think about when you use it.
Will the Blitz Striker's ability stun dragons in the air?
Yes. And they would fall to the ground.
And then to add to that, can dragons struggle free from a stun?
We don't know yet. It's something we have to do some testing on. By the way, I don't know if those of you who are patrons, you might have seen like we have the Day of Dragons comic that's out called Legends of Drakon, and you can get that on our Patreon, and our patrons are really enjoying that comic, and Tarly's doing a great job illustrating it. But there's Drakon himself right there. He made his debut in the November issue of the comic.
Is Simon still our sound effects artist?
Yes, he is. Simon, you know, some of you might not know this, but Anthomnia is actually the one that hooked us up with Simon, and he's been here ever since, and Simon loves working here, and we love having him. He's pretty awesome.
Have we started working on the Frostfell animations? And the answer to that is no, not yet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, you can answer that one.
I'm just the reader. Will we ever be on consoles like Xbox, PlayStation, and if we do, will we allow cross-platform?
There's a single-player version that I would like to release on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but it would be a single-player version of Day of Dragons, not a multiplayer version. But I'm dedicated to getting the PC version done first, and then, you know, with the multiplayer. And speaking of multiplayer, we're switching over to Unreal 5.1 because nanite foliage is pretty much broken in Unreal 5.0, and they fixed it in 5.1. And one of the really cool things with 5.1 is they've introduced a new netcode called Iris. And Iris seeks to double the supported player count that Unreal Engine can support. So from 100 players to 200 players. So that's something that 5.1 just came out, I think it was last week, and I've been playing around with trying to learn Iris, and the plan is that maybe not right away. I think we'll continue using you know, replication graph for now, but replication graph has issues with large world coordinates, but I found a workaround. But I am planning on switching to Iris when it's production ready, and that will allow us to easily get 200 players on our mega map instead of 100. So looking forward to filling out that big world with all those players.
Okay. Next question is, do we have a name for the Rhino AI? And if we don't, can it be called Razorback?
We do not have a name for it. I was, you know, thinking of calling him Rhino the Hamster, but that name was already taken. Thought of Super Rhino, but that name was already taken too.
Would we add hit detection animations?
Not going to say no to that. It's not something we've talked about though.
When you unlock the hybrid, will you unlock it in every server or just the one you unlock it in?
That's right. Just the one you unlock it in. I'd let the micro answer that.
Thank you.
This is the feathered Zigavo, aka the micro. That's his friendly call. Oh, some of these are pretty loud. We have so many sound effects. Yeah, lots and lots of them. Nurse Dragon. There you go. That's Nurse Dragon right there. Is there anything that you can think of that I should show everybody, Parrot?
Yeah, I have one. Let me send it to you.
Just keep in mind a lot of this stuff is work in progress stuff, so. Of course, this is the mega map. We're working on blocking it out, and you say, well, haven't you been working on blocking this thing out for months? You have to understand, this is a 40-kilometer map. 40 kilometers. So it's quite an undertaking, and that's all Branton does is work on this thing. 40 hours every week he works on this mega map, and there's a lot to work on, and it is going to be huge. And this map wouldn't even be possible if not for Unreal Engine's new technology, world partition, and large world coordinates, which is basically 64-bit precision, because with 32-bit precision, which most all games have, like Unreal Engine 4 is 32-bit precision, CryEngine 32-bit, Unity 32-bit precision. And what happens is once your coordinates from 0, 0, which is the center of the map on the XY scale, once they get to be like beyond 1,500 meters, which is when you have 6 decimal precision, because 150 meters in Unreal Engine, or 1,500 meters in Unreal Engine would read 1500.0000000, and so there's only so many numbers that you can get in 32-bit precision. And what happens is, as you go beyond that range, the numbers, you start losing precision. So instead of like 1.12345 you get 1.1 15. It kind of just starts rounding the numbers, and so you lose precision. So then you start getting what looks like lag. But there's two types of lag. There's a bandwidth or network lag, where the server has a delay, between telling you where that person's at and where they're actually at. So you have network lag, and you also have precision lag, which happens when the coordinates, the math is rounding decimals, or rounding whole numbers, which is really bad if you're going way beyond the center of the map. So Unreal 5 fixes that because it supports 64-bit precision large world coordinates, and so with that they're able to create world partition, a new technology that allows them to support massive worlds. And the reason why we want to have massive worlds is because you can fly, and we don't want to do what some games do and slow down flight to make it seem like you're to make it seem like it's taking you a while to get somewhere. We want flight to actually be like, we base our dragon flights on like actual bird flight speeds, and and even our run speeds. Like some of you might not know that, but the acid spitters, its sprint is the same speed as a cheetah, in centimeters per second. So we use like real world speeds, and so we want you to actually feel like you're flying with our physics-based flight system. So we need a big map, and plus we have a lot of area that we want people to be able to explore. So Dave Dragons is gonna, we're doing stuff that no other game's done, and I'm up for the challenge. Let's see what else we got here to show while they're all watching that video. Parrot, are you still there? Did I lose you?
I am still here.
Cool. I know we have like Blitz Striker lightning effects, and I can't find it.
Oh, those are very old.
Or are they pretty old?
Yeah.
I don't know if they've been updated for the Niagara, or if they're still Cascade.
I don't believe Flicker's worked on them in a while, so they probably will need to be updated.
Let me take a couple more questions.
All right. Let me find a question. Will we be adding water movement or tree movement in the new map?
We do. Unreal 5 has I'm trying to remember what it's called, a water system that, man, I can't think of the word right now. It moves. The water moves, yes. Wow. You ever have a word like just like right there, and then it just like you can't think of it? But yeah, dynamic water is coming in release. And what was the other thing?
Tree movement.
The trees are capable of moving, but whether or not, you know, it's based on a wind system, and so I do want to put the wind in the game, so the wind would move the trees, and yeah, so. And you know, we don't like we're making the mega map, and we're gonna like put like the environmental assets, you know, in the map, but most of, you know, and we are making like, we're making some of the environmental assets, like stuff for the shimmering caves, and you know, the bioflower, and we made our own mushrooms, and so some stuff we make ourselves, but like the actual like forests and the trees and the grass, they're all made by Willie Hams of Maui United, and he's working on some really cool stuff with nanite and lumen and Unreal, you know, Unreal 5, and it looks absolutely it's just gorgeous. Like, it's the most realistic looking stuff I've ever seen in a video game, and we're going to be bringing that to Day of Dragons. Do you guys want to see some of that? I'll show you if you guys want to see some of it.
I believe yes is the answer.
So like he's got like a system where like you can have like dynamic winter, and if this thing actually loads, it's pretty cool, where the you know, the snow like can accumulate on the ground, so that's pretty cool. And I know some people are like, why don't you make your own environmental assets, you know, trees and stuff like that, but why would we make them when somebody who has been doing this for 28 years has already made this stuff, and, you know, basically hires himself out and lets other people, you know, purchase license for his work. I mean, most game studios use third-party content plugins. You know, I don't know of very many that are 100% made in-house. So, but this guy's stuff is amazing. I want to show you guys something else he was working on. Really caught my eye here. And that's the redwood forest and lumen and nanite. I mean, the detail, I mean, these are all like photoscanned things here. And Branton, our level designer, he can't wait to like start painting the world with this stuff. And we're actually waiting for Unreal 5.1 to come out so that foliage would be supported properly with Lumen. I don't know how good the quality is, like, that you guys are seeing, but that looks amazing. I mean, that's all Unreal Engine 5 right there. Any other questions there, Bad Parrot?
One of the questions was about those graphics and if they will fry people's PCs at that level.
Yes, they will fry your PC. No, just to use Lumen and a lot of the different things that are coming in with Unreal Engine 5, you're going to have a decent computer, because you know Unreal Engine 5 is next gen, and I would say to play Dave Dragon's release, you're going to need at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. I would probably recommend, and we have to test like the different graphics cards, but I would probably recommend at least a 960 or a 980, a GTX 960 or 980, to be able to play it with a, you're probably going to want at least a 4-core processor. Probably at least Intel. I'm thinking Intel 9 or AMD. What was it? The AMD. Probably a 1700X or 2700X or 3600 or something like that. But we'll find out. You know, we got a lot of testers with all different types of PCs, and we're going to find out. Oh, there's a new jungle biome coming too, so we're looking forward to putting that in the game. Jungle swamp area. Have you all seen how a Ravager runs? I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. So he kind of like starts off running like with all fours, and then as he picks up speed, he kind of like starts doing a bipedal type run. And then when he, loses speed, he goes back to a four-leg trot. Like that. Is there an animation for the Inferno ability? I think there is already.
I believe we decided not to do an animation for it. There's the effects for it.
Oh, you mean for like turning his Inferno on? I don't think there is one for that. Will there be a big celebration event with the launch of 1.0 in the future? There should be. There definitely should be. It's a really big, momentous event. Will Bio and Blitz be playable on Legacy? It's something I could add to Legacy, but it's something I have to add. Will we see a change to flight controls in the future, like the buttons? The buttons right now are pretty much my buttons. So the default buttons for flight, that's the buttons I use. But you'll be able to customize them just like you can now. See, will these beautiful trees, bushes have collision if I run into them? Big trees and big bushes will have, like, if it looks like you shouldn't be able to run through it, then it's probably going to have collision on it. But a lot of the smaller stuff, it's very annoying for it to have collision, so no. How do we address rising concerns over playability? We're going to do as much as we can to optimize the game so that it's playable on as many systems as possible, but there is going to be a cutoff point to where if your system isn't up to the minimum specs, you're going to have to upgrade. Technology is advancing really fast, and the game that we want to make requires this new technology, and you know, with how the rate that technology advances, you know, with that comes price drops. You know, so tech that used to be really, really expensive is now pretty affordable. So you know, people are going to have to try to catch up with the requirements to be able to run the release version. And like I said, for those that can't, we still have we're still going to have legacy until those that can't are able to, you know, upgrade. And the game does have scalability settings. You're going to be able to turn some settings off. You'll be able to put everything on super low, but still, there's still going to be a minimum.
Will there be different object collisions depending on the size? Because the behemoth's going to be really big and he's not going to be able to get a lot of places the smaller dragons can, like walking through forests.
That's a, you know, that's a good idea. So I'm going to write that down, and I didn't even actually think about that until so I was thinking about, like, how am I going to do collision with the behemoth before, but I could probably do a thing to where the collision is different for the behemoth than for the other creatures.
I think he should knock the trees over. Destroy all the trees.
Well, you could do that too, because I could, you know, enable chaos physics in the trees, and he could, you know, smash them as he walks through them.
What will be the unique ability of the micro dragon? And I can answer this one.
Yes, please.
Did you forget? It's gonna be to preen. It's gonna be able to preen itself and have one-shot protection, and then it can also preen other dragons and give them a little buff in their defense.
You were answering the question. You weren't asking me a question, right?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Is there going to be a karaoke night for dragons in game, and will the devs sing? I'm going to tell you right now, you will never hear me sing. I am terrible. You can hear Jo sing, though.
Want to hear me sing?
Sing us a Christmas carol.
I'm not singing Christmas songs before Thanksgiving.
Sing a Thanksgiving song.
I don't know any Thanksgiving songs.
Will there be smaller caves that only smaller dragons can get into?
Yes. That is affirmative.
Is there an animation for the Blitz Striker's EMP attack? Actually, I think that reminds me we do need to make one, but we do have the bile attack.
Yeah, we do have the bile attack.
Will there be a way to prevent people from turning off the plants and therefore like putting it on low setting and therefore being able to see people hiding?
usually, I'm kind of torn with that, because like you do that to prevent exploits, because people will turn off plants just so they can see people hiding. So then you go ahead and you make it so that you can't turn off plants. But then you have the people on the really low end PCs who need the plants to be off so that they can play the game. So to fix one problem, you create another problem. And something that I tried in the beta was that I made it so that you can't turn anything off. You can't turn off the shadows, you can't turn off the foliage, but the quality of the shadows and the foliage on the lowest setting is so bad that you really you really don't want it on. But it's so bad that it doesn't really have much of an effect on the PC of the person that has to use it, but it also makes the game look horrible, because you're basically, you got blocky shadows, and the foliage looks awful, but it prevents people turning it off to exploit the game. So I've played competitive PvP games where people turned it off. No matter how good their PCs were, they turned it off because it gave them an advantage. But then I've also played games where you couldn't turn it off, but people wanted to be able to turn it off because of the performance boost. So some people just want the frame rates, other people want the advantage, and so that's probably something that we'll run by our testing community, and we'll try to figure out what the best option is for the game.
Do we have sounds for the ice behemoth? I don't know if we do yet.
I don't think so yet.
And then we have someone requesting the bio dragon sounds. I think I have a video of just all of them I can send you. Maybe not. Do you have those, Jo?
The bio sounds?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a library full of all kinds of sounds. I was like going through them all. That's not a bio. Now here's bio-friendly, adult bio-friendly, and these are whips. So, we haven't, like, until something's like in the game, it's not final, and even if after it's in the game, it's still not final, because we might change it. Well, that was I don't think we're using those ones. By the way, the Blitz Striker is Simon's favorite dragon, and so like the all the calls for the Blitz sound are really, really good. Be cool to have like the elder Blitz Striker when he like roars while flying during a thunderstorm, to have like lightning strike. That'd be really cool. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. We didn't want to go over 2 hours, and we're at 1 hour and 47 minutes. And so we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. We'll take a couple more questions if there are any.
Let me grab you one. Is there anything we're going to do to stop players from camping biofood or herbivore food sources?
Camping is kind of like camping food sources is, that is, you know, camping resources, camping food sources, that's something that games with a lot more experience and a lot more money than we have tried to fix in multiple different ways in multiple different games, and I've never really seen a solution that solves the problem without creating a problem. The best way to keep people from camping is like tell your friends that this guy is camping and, you know, come kill him.
The next question is, are we having difficulties with volumetric clouds in the Unreal Engine 5?
Nope. They just work.
Will the Flamestalker's flame breath be updated to be more accurate visually?
Yeah, we're probably gonna tweak that a little bit. The current flame breath in beta is using Cascade, and the new flame breath in release will be using Niagara. So we have to mess with the effects anyway. So did I ever answer my question? Or I was making a statement earlier. I was saying there's 3 things, and then I went off on a rabbit trail, I think. There's 3 things that have to happen before release, and I don't think I just now realized I don't think I actually finished my train of thought here. But the 3 things that have to happen for release is the animations have to all be done, and I think that was the first thing I said. Then I went off on a rabbit trail and I never talked about number 2, number 3. The second thing is that all the code work has to be done, and the third thing is that the mega map has to be done. And until those 3 things are done, we can't release the 1.0 version. We can't come out early access. We gotta have all 3 of those things done: animations, code work, and mega map. The animations and code work will probably be done about the same time. The mega map is going to be the biggest time sink. For a couple different reasons. Reason number 1, it's huge, and so the bigger the map, the more time it takes to finish it. Second reason is we're using a lot of new technology that we found some you know, things that worked in like Unreal Engine 4 don't work in Unreal Engine 5, or they work differently, or you import things from Unreal Engine 4 into 5 and they're completely broken. And we found that we've been testing Unreal Engine 5.1 because we need the updates to Nanite and Lumen with foliage for the game, for the Mega Map, and a lot of things in the map in 5.0 broke in 5.1, so we're trying to figure out what exactly the problem is. And we didn't lose any work, don't worry about that. But you know, there's, like I said, it's new technology, and we have to figure out how to use it properly, because there's not really a lot of documentation on all this stuff. It's a lot of testing, trial and error, and you know, trying to get everything to work, and then testing it, and then, you know, putting it on the test server, and then seeing if it works or not, you know, like you thought it would. So those three things have to happen before we can release, and we expect those three things to be all done in 2023. When exactly, what month, not sure. But animation, code work is all you know, going really well. Mega Map has, you know, the actual Mega Map work is going well. The technical side of things, you know, we got some hurdles we got to overcome. I don't anticipate that being a huge issue as far as like time goes, but like I said, it's new technology, and you know, there's a learning curve. So all right, a couple more questions before we run out of time here. We got about 6 minutes left.
All right. The next question, which I've seen a couple times, is, since the Kickstarters can spawn in as the hybrid without finding the egg and without being incubated by a nurse dragon, how will their stats work?
It's going to be random. And you know, the reason why it's random is because they have a huge advantage over other players in that they can spawn in as a hybrid without finding an egg. But they can also find an egg and then take that egg to a nurse, which, if they have a Kickstarter friend who is a nurse, you know, it wouldn't be hard to find a nurse. Or if they have an alt, you know, alt account or something like that, I don't know. But some of you Kickstarters have like multiple Kickstarter accounts, so you might have your own nurse dragon. But a Kickstarter could find the hybrid egg, take it to a nurse, and then you know, have its stats improved, and then nest in as that specific hybrid. Which, if you already had a hybrid, it would kill your old hybrid, so you wouldn't be able to have two of them. But if you didn't have a hybrid saved, you could spawn in as that new egg. So that solves the issue that some Kickstarter said, well, what if I want to play and unlock things? And, well, you can. If you want a good statted hybrid, you're going to have to find the egg. And, you know, if you don't care, just spawn in as a hybrid with random stats. Okay,
We have
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay. We have a question, is since some people have sensory issues with noises such as eating or drinking, will there be a button to remove them or disable the sound?
Sensory issues with eating and drinking, is that what you said?
Yeah.
There's a volume control, like you can turn the volume off in the game. But you know, like turning off specific sounds, I don't know of any game that does that.
Will the hybrid be able to get acid as its element?
The hybrid should be able to get like fire, ice, plasma, acid, lightning, and I don't know about venom.
And it looks like people want to hear the Singe Crest, so maybe we should end with that.
The Singe Crest. Don't we have a video on YouTube with Singe Crest sound effects?
Maybe.
I thought we did. So I think the Singe Crest ones are already out there, so you can just find them on our YouTube channel.
Poor Kimmy. Very disappointed she is. Okay, the last question looks like it will be, what are the estimated goal times of major updates? Are we looking at an update every 8 months, or what do we plan?
We plan to get the updates out as soon as possible. So that's our update schedule. I don't like putting pressure on people to get things done. Like if I give a release date, it's because I am very confident that we're going to hit that release date. So for me to like say, well, update 1.1 is coming, you know, December 2023. It might be, you know, ready in July 2023. It might be ready in 2024, and I can't really predict when it's going to be ready. So until I know it's done, and you know, then I can say, okay, this update's ready to go. But we're hoping that we'll be able to release, and you know, don't hold me to this, but we're hoping to be able to release update 1.0 and update 1.1 next year. Because 1.0 is the big one, and I think we can get 1.1 done as well. And with Carly working full time, you know, I don't think we'll have any issue with the animations. So yeah, I think 1.0, 1.1, you know, I think that's something that we could do, but like I said, don't hold me to it. The beta came out in July of 2021, and it took us from July to April to get out the Flamestalker update, and we pretty much have been sitting on that Flamestalker update you know, since April, and there's been a couple patches since then, specifically in with that the hacker and stuff like that. But I would, you know, I'd say a safe bet is two updates a year, maybe more. After 1.0 comes out, they might be even quicker to come out. But I wouldn't, you know, hold my breath for more than 2 a year. So, and with that, we are out of time. Wow, that was loud. Should have done the distance, the far one. Was that one? But with that, we are out of time, and we hope that you have all enjoyed our 2-hour Thanksgiving Dev Q&A. We got to show you guys some stuff we've been working on, and there's so much more stuff, and I'm like just kind of like perusing through the different dev channels here and picking some stuff out. But you know, we hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and if you don't have Thanksgiving where you're at, you're welcome to come on over here to the US and celebrate Thanksgiving with us. And we'll see you all back next week after we come back, you know, 10 to 20 pounds heavier after eating all that turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing and pies, and you know, I know I'm going to gain some weight. Midnight, are you still here?
I am still here.
Thought you might have fell asleep.
No, not yet.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.